I believe that when you define your audience, you define your why, you know why you're doing this, you know who your target audience is. You cannot sell to a million people all at the same time, right? But if you can discover your 1%, tap into that 1% and just penetrate that market and just go repeat the same thing over and over again because you know it works. Because your audience, your audience likes golfing. Okay, do stuff about golfing. Your audience like food. Most of the time, my sales doesn't really come from posting real estate content. It comes from posting other things that has nothing to do with real estate.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Yomi, and I'm here on the show Sales Ain't a Bad Word. And like you know, on every episode, I always bring special people that you guys are going to learn a lot of things from. And this episode is not anything different. In fact, if I'm going to say it, this is about to be one of my favorite episodes so far. And I have this person that I really respect so much in the industry. I like the way that he puts his things together. Cool, calm, and collected, and also aggressive. Don't let the calmness, fool you, which is something that I like. I consider myself like an aggressive person in terms of my dreams, my goals. So when I see people like that, I tend to gravitate towards them. And without further ado, I want to introduce to you my guest for today's show on Sales Ain't a Bad Word, Wale Olawoyin. Some people know him as the CEO, Wale CEO on Instagram. Some people know him as Champion Studios, but hey, it's Wale CEO on the show today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm excited to be here. First, thank God for giving us the opportunity to have the knowledge that we have today and to be able to inspire and empower people like us. So I'm definitely excited to be here.
Yes, and I like that as well that you said that because the emergence of social media has helped people like us to own our own thing and make sure that we can get our words across to the world.
Right.
And I like it. So give us a lowdown about I know you sell houses.
Right.
What is your daily thing like?
Okay, so for me, everything started. Let me say, my journey began when I came to the United States. I was 11 years old, and the first thing I learned was computer. Right, so a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm a computer whiz. Right, so I back in high school, college, what I used to do was I would buy like different parts of computers, put them together and sell it, right? The operating system, everything all together. And that is really when I began to learn about sales, right? And then fast forward down the road, I started designing websites for businesses, and then I got into video production and the mix of everything, right? So it's kind of like, cooking different stew or like different ingredients, making a stew. That is what real estate, has arrived for me, because now I'm able to merge all my different sales skills, all the different marketing skills, everything I've learned on the road, and bring it into one thing, which is selling real estate. And that doesn't stop us from doing other things as well, right? We're natural entrepreneurs, and we're always going to do multiple things. Yeah,
absolutely. I love it. So you saying that, I'm like, with the skill that you have growing up with you selling things and all that, you can sell anything and thrive, in my opinion.
Yes.
So why did you choose real estate?
I chose real estate because it has always been my passion to be a developer. So I'm really into real estate because I want to develop real estate. I want to build communities, and selling real estate is kind of like an entryway because I'm not coming from a rich family, so I have to get rich somehow. And selling real estate, and I also love being a part of people's biggest moments. And if you look at it, right, buying a home, it's kind of like a big accomplishment.
100%.
So just me being a part of it, I love helping people, guiding them, especially for the financial process as well. So that is the big reason why I'm selling real estate. And also, it's my pathway to owning multiple properties and buying lands, developing, and other stuff.
I like it.
Thank you.
So whenever I come across your page, I always like the picture.
Thank you.
How were you able to marry? Of course, you said you have a background in video production.
Yes.
But whenever I see it and I see the things that you talk about, it really gets me triggered, like encouraged to be able to say, you know what, I like what this guy is doing. And when I had the opportunity, when the idea of this show came and I was putting names down, I said, Wale has to be one of the people that will come.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and also tell people that no matter how good you are, you still get rejections.
Yes.
People still doubt what you're doing. People still doubt your capability or your capacity in terms of like things that you can do or even imagine to put them into their dream home.
Right.
So run us through the kind of rejections that you get doing this job.
Okay, and even before we get to the rejections, I think some people might think we get on social media to show off, right? But we're not on social media to show off. I think what's a big difference between our people and other people is examples. Because life is all about environment. Absolutely. And growing up, I didn't think I had like the right examples and the right environments to show successful people, to show people that are doing what I want to do. The only examples that we had was doctors, lawyers, and all these professions, which are all great professions. Absolutely. But there are other alternative professions that you can even make millions more than all these other professions. So I want to be one of those people that inspire others that, yes, you can do other things, you can thrive there, you can be successful there, right? So, that's why we do what we do on social media.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. And when it comes to rejection, those are things that happens every day. Those are things we cannot avoid. I think that one of the biggest rejection that I personally face is ageism, right? I kind of don't want to go through this direction, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Because I'm a young real estate agent, a lot of people think that guy doesn't know what he's doing because he's young. And especially if I'm working with other people, sometimes it's hard for them to maybe receive the information because it's like, who's this young boy? What's he telling me?
I bought my first house in 98.
Yeah, in 90 something. Maybe I wasn't even born when they bought their first home or something. But experience doesn't have anything to do with how old you are. I could have gotten my license at 18. I could have been doing this for a long time. And I've been in real estate for 5 years now. I'll be 5 years next month actually. So I'm 31 now, and me being young and being tech savvy and knowing a lot about marketing and sales and all this good stuff and merging it together, it puts me at a good advantage. But for somebody that thinks it's all about how old you are, they're automatically going to think that, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And sometimes you have to prove yourself. You have to show yourself, so that they can, understand. And sometimes we have to break it down and let them know. It's all about being patient. Objections will always happen, rejections will always happen, but it's all about how you go around it. What is your mindset around stuff like that?
Absolutely. I love it. I like that you also mentioned ageism, because in my own world too, selling solar, we always say it when I tell people, get new reps on board. I always tell them sexism, ageism, racism does not exist because it's a numbers game. Right. If you think you can sell, if you think you have the power to sell something to people, you have the connection, you have the right network, you have the right lingo, you have the right information, people are going to buy from you either way. People don't care. They're going to buy it anyways, so why can't they buy it from you? So I really really like that. Yeah, so thanks. And another thing that also comes to my mind, you answering that question is both ways. You get triggered, they get triggered. Right. What triggers them? What is that thing that you've noticed that triggers you about customers or potential customers? Okay, so one of the triggering things is understanding the client's why. Anybody you're working with, because we're selling something, right? And depending on their personality type, depending on who they are and how they receive information, we're gonna, throw different things at them, right? So it's all about knowing the why. Okay, for example, you come to me and you say you want to buy a house. I want to know why. Why are you buying now? You're not comfortable where you're at? Is that the reason? Or you have kids now? Things are getting bigger, or divorce. Whatever the reason is, I think that knowing the why, with anything we're doing in life, we have to know the why, and that's what's going to allow us to be able to
type of things.
And before I ask my next question, that also sounds to me like passion. Because this job is all about passion.
Fact.
Because you wanting to know why means you're asking questions. So you can know how to fit into them. I know that there are a lot of salespeople out there that will force you to buy what doesn't really fit. And that is one of the things that they lack, which is asking questions.
Right.
Why do you want it? So
Right.
when you answer me, I can tell you, actually, from what you're talking about, you want to rent out your basement. Maybe you shouldn't buy this house without a walkout basement.
Facts.
Instead of someone coming into your house.
Facts.
Do you want to do like a walkout basement? Let's look at something like that. It might be a little more expensive. Is this something that you're open to?
Right.
It helps that person show that you actually care, not just because they like this beautiful house and you just want to close them.
Right.
So I like that. For me to also, give you based on my own experience as well is customers that are not consistent. And I'm sure you get that too.
Yes.
People walk you through, you go for multiple showings, and on the day of closing or a week or two to closing, they tell you they want to back out, and now they have a cousin that is a real estate agent that wants to buy it from you.
Yes, at the end of the day, life happens. For me, I try not to get certain things over my head, right? The way I look at it is what's meant to be will be. And if anything is getting to a level where it's starting to affect the mental health, I'm not gonna go through this because I have other people that are waiting for me. Why am I over here stressing about that one person that want to stress me? Let me go to the people that are excited. Like for me, my belief in life, and everybody's different. My belief in life is I don't chase anybody. I don't chase clients. If you come to me or if we have a discussion about it, we talk a few times. If you're not interested, I want to work with people that are excited to work with me at the same time, right? Because I'd rather channel my energy to people that want to work with me rather than working with someone that it's like I'm frustrating them or I'm forcing them or anything like that. So that's just me as a person, right? Because I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is out of passion because you cannot sell real estate without passion. Like we don't get paid until the house closes, right? We can do a whole lot of work, and if we don't close, nothing. There's nothing at the end of the day. So
it's like the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing with seller.
Yeah, you gotta sell. You gotta close the deal before you get paid.
Yeah, like I have people that I've probably shown 40 houses to, and they ghost me. 2 years down the road, they call me and they say, they bought a house, but something's wrong. Can I help them? I'm like, what do you mean?
Can you imagine?
It doesn't make sense. How did you ghost me after showing you all those houses? And then, so.
I like that. And also one other thing with my own experience as well is people that talk too big about themselves.
Right.
They show you all these fancy houses, fancy cars that they built in Nigeria or somewhere in Ghana, and they tell you all these big things, tell you how big their office is, the kind of work they do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, show the action.
Show me some action.
Yeah.
And it becomes, so that's something that kind of a little triggers me in a customer.
Yeah.
Man, I like it. How do you encourage more salespeople when they come into the business to pass the message across that sales is not a bad word?
Okay, so sales is not a bad word, but before we even get into that, I like to dial things down, right? So at the end of the day, everybody have their audience. So I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is we try to sell to people who are not our audience, people that we do not connect with, right? So when you're selling to the wrong people, there's this thing that says nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to go shopping with a friend. You have to learn who are your audience, how do you become friends with them, and you don't even need to sell to them. They will automatically come to you. And that's my strategy, right? I don't really do buy. Like I really just show other things that looks like, okay, this guy's a cool guy. Now they want to work with me, and they reach out to me. So I'm more of an organic guy, and different things works for different people. But for me, I believe that when you define your audience, you define your why, you know why you're doing this, you know who your target audience is. You cannot sell to 1 million people all at the same time, right? But if you can discover your 1%, tap into that 1% and just penetrate that market and just go repeat the same thing over and over again because you know it works. Because your audience, your audience likes golfing. Okay, do stuff about golfing. Your audience like food. Most of the time, my sales doesn't really come from posting real estate content. It comes from posting other things that has nothing to do with real estate. Because now they're like, I like this guy. I can trust this guy.
Are you guys picking my sales guys out there? Are you picking something?
Yeah.
Buy from me. You're sending them away. You're like saying, go away from me. Away from me.
Yeah, you're chasing them away. It's like somebody just throwing flyer at you every single time. You're going to throw it away, But if I'm eating a nice food and I'm posting it, and while I'm eating the food, I'm talking about real estate. I've already caught your attention, and now I throw in the something to sell. You always want to mention just a little bit. That's it.
I love it. I love it. I mean, social media is a tool that I was kind of heavy, and at some point, I just found out that I was so busy, I couldn't post, and I'm like, no, we have to go back to the basics.
So on that, right, the biggest mistake that we make is we try to separate our lifestyle from content, right? We separate, kind of like separating work from home. That is not the same thing with social media. You have to make content your lifestyle. Don't try to have a different personality online and a different personality at work, right? You need to intertwine both of them together, right? Yeah, marry them together because people want to see the behind the scenes. We're here right now, right? People are more interested in the behind the scenes of your setup and what we're creating than the actual content that you're creating. That's the funny thing you'll find out, right? So, your behind the scenes of you at work, you're doing sales meeting, you're doing this the solar installation. People are more interested into those parts than the videos that you post about solar itself. So you just have to make it work together rather than separating it. And if you can bring them together, you will not have problem creating content because you're already doing those things.
That is absolutely true. Yeah. So they played the Super Bowl, and I posted something about the Super Bowl being powered, the whole stadium being powered by solar. And I also had an image of Usher, Organ, and Alicia Keys, and it's saying homeowners embracing solar. And I got like 2 calls. Someone
from that.
newly built a house, he hasn't even moved in. He told me, I'm moving in next month. I want you to come. So that, I wasn't trying to tell them anything.
Right.
So, I like that. And I think more people should embrace that. I myself, I'm going to put that into my vocabulary and also my knowledge in selling.
Yeah. So like if you're selling online, only 10% of your content should be actually direct sales. Yeah, only 10% is like direct sales where you're posting a flyer or you're actually the rest. So just make it natural. Yeah, just be yourself.
I love it. Also, I know that you do a lot of things. You did like a networking that you had people come from Nigeria.
Yes.
And I was there too, and I want to say that was a very good one.
Yeah.
And you also have like a networking event. Do you have anyone coming up that we might want to talk about?
So maybe March or April, we're still working on it. So now we're doing it quarterly because we want to make sure that each event, has a meaning. There's something to it. It's not just come and look around and with each other, right? We want to have a theme for each event. So probably March or April, we're going to have the next event, and it's going to be quarterly. We don't know what the theme is going to be. The last one we did a singles networking event.
I wanted to come, but I was like,
and a lot of people were there. So so we're giving each one a theme and making it quarterly, just 4 times a year, and that's it. So
I love it, guys. Please follow Waletheceo on social media, on all social media pages, especially on Instagram. You're gonna see the link to every other thing that he does, and also keep supporting the show. Sales Ain't a Bad Word. And subscribe on YouTube. SABW podcast, Sales Ain't a Bad Word podcast, on Facebook, on Instagram, and keep sharing. This show is powered by Kicksound Studios. It's in Maryland. If you want to have a setup like this, you want to do your music videos, events, and all those people, they are the ones in charge of this. We're going to leave their phone number on the screen. You can call them up and they'll be glad to listen to you, or just send them a DM on Kicksound Studios MD. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Wale, for coming.
Yeah, thank you. And before we go, I do want to, I like how you said sales is not a bad word, right? So there's this thing that says you're either selling or you're being sold. Your whole life, throughout your whole life, you're being sold at something, or you're the one selling at something. So sales is not a,
It's not a bad word.
It's not a bad word. So you're always going to be selling, whether you're doing it intentionally or unintentionally. So why not make money doing it?
I love it. Funny enough, I think we're just going to spend another 1 minute saying this. It's our show, so we can do whatever we want, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you do that as well. Sending food to your significant other,
Yes.
wife or significant other.
Yes.
Like, you just see a food. Those people are selling something. Once you send it, you've sent it so much that your significant other knows, I think this is what he wants to eat.
Right. They start putting one and two together.
Exactly. It's like, someone sending you a ring and you haven't proposed on social media. They are telling you it's time to propose.
Yeah. They're selling the idea, the
just
vision.
selling the idea. So let's keep selling our ideas. Sales is not the bad word. Thank you so much, and I'll see you some other time. Bye.